Yes, who is it?
Antonio Garza, Our Lady of the Saint. I worked with your father. Well, for him would be more correct.
Oh, yes, of course.
I have some of his effects. I tried to pack what I thought would be important to the family.
You can set it on the table. Oh, wait.
I just want to say that it has been a pleasure serving under your father. He was a very devout and loving man. There is no official set of rules in this situation, and since no one came to claim his things, I figured I'd set aside the things I thought would be most memorable. His various achievements and recognitions.
Thank you, Mr.
Garza.
Garza. I really appreciate the effort, and I'm sorry for any hassle this might have been.
No hassle at all. It was my pleasure. And it was good to finally meet you. You were missed at the funeral.
Oh, yeah. I had a lot to take care of, what with the probate and the house, and, I'm just trying to
No need to
figure
explain. Losing someone as special as he was hard on all of us. Can't even imagine what you must be going through. Him being your actual father and all. Just a great man.
I don't suppose you can drink.
Drink? No, if you mean alcohol, no. But if you...
Yeah, I'm gonna go make myself a drink.
I have a question.
Yeah?
There's just one thing from your father's possessions that always sort of...
It's just iced tea.
Oh, well, thank you.
So you were saying?
It's just that for a man who was a part of so many people's lives, he only had one photograph in his office.
Oh.
I never asked him why that particular photo, but I've always been curious about it.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sorry. Can't even imagine the last time I was in his office.
Does this photo mean anything to you?
This was a lifetime ago.
You know that picture.
That's my sister and I.
Sister? I don't understand. I was under the impression that you were an only child.
I am now. Do you know what it's like to wish that someone would die? I guess you can't answer that, assuming you even ever felt that way.
No. I can't say that I've ever wished death on anyone.
I've wished for my father to die for so long that I can't remember feeling anything for him more powerful than that.
What happened to your sister?
It wasn't much long after this picture was taken, maybe 3 years. It was the same place. It was his favorite place to take us. he would take us there and tell us stories about love and forgiveness. But all I really remember is how I felt about her.
About your sister?
She had the most gorgeous long red hair. Everyone always complimented her on her hair. She was so smart. She was younger than me, but you could just see in her eyes that she understood things better than I did. Especially those stories.
Dana, I just want to say that although I am only a seminarian, and therefore am not able to evoke the seal of confession, anything you do choose to tell me would be held in the highest confidence, and would not be shared with anyone.
Don't you get it? He's gone now. It doesn't matter what happens anymore.
Would you like to tell me what happened?
My sister and I, Mary. Her name was Mary. We were watching television when my father came in with this red tartan picnic blanket. Whenever we saw the blanket, we knew where we were going. My mother hardly ever came with us. She definitely didn't this time. I think she was sick. Yeah. It was around the time she started getting really sick. Anyway, when we'd get there, and there was this huge tree that we would sit under, and we could look over the whole city. He forgot the blanket in the car, and he told us to stay put and wait for him until he came back. There was an overlook, God, I don't know, maybe 10, 20 feet away from the tree. You know, when you stood there, you felt like you were on top of the world. It was my idea to go over. And she, of course, came along, as little sisters do.
Did your sister fall? Did Mary fall over the ridge? And that's why you blame your father for leaving the two of you alone.
God, no! The last thing I remember was how bright her hair looked blowing in the wind. It was like fire. He only asked me one time what happened. I told him she slipped. But I pushed her. Did you hear me? I said I pushed her over the cliff.
So why exactly did you blame your father?
I didn't blame him. I just didn't want him to know the truth. Part of me thinks that he already knew, but it would have broken him to have it confirmed.
Knowing your father, even if he had known, I'm sure he would have forgiven you in an instant.
Can you imagine wanting someone who had never done anything wrong to you to die? For years I prayed that he would die because I didn't want him to know what I had done. I don't think he could forgive that. I don't think God could forgive that.
You know, in the New Testament, it is written that every sin can be forgiven of a man. Okay. Okay, look. Honestly, I think we all carry things with us. And the longer we carry them, the heavier it feels. And if we don't put that weight down, it becomes us. However, if you're able to break free from that burden, to set it down, you may see that you are more than the mistakes. You are more than the past. And that there is forgiveness out there. Even if it starts with you forgiving yourself.
Thanks again for...
Like I said, it was my pleasure. Your father had an immense effect on who I am as a man and as a man of God. It was the least I could do. Ah, hey, Dana. Just remember that forgiveness is the final form of love.